Hello, I'm Danielle Pierce, real estate investor, licensed sales associate with Williams Realty and Investments. I want to take the next 8 minutes to explain to you how you can get started investing in real estate. Now, real estate investing when you're getting started can be quite confusing. There's money to be made in pre-foreclosures, foreclosures, short sales, tax sales, the auction, etc. As a neophyte investor, you often wonder, where should I start? Well, listen on to find out what you can do in order to get started investing. I want to cover 3 areas: cash, credit, and knowledge. First area I want to cover is cash. As they say, cash is king. When it comes to cash, there's 2 kinds of people. Usually there's those that think that real estate investing costs a lot of money. Tens of thousands of dollars are needed to get started, and so a lot of people come to the conclusion that it's something that only the wealthy or the well-off are able to accomplish. The other category are those folks that think that real estate investing costs no money at all, and I call this the no money down club. These are the people who think that they can just go out and strike it rich, so to speak, in a matter of months without spending a single dime of their own money. Well, fortunately, the truth is somewhere in between. Basically, you want to make sure that you have money for earnest money, which is typically $1,000. The appraisal, roughly $300 to $350. Home inspection, $250 to $350. And of course, you want to pay an attorney to look over that contract for you. In addition, a down payment may be required. Now, the trend that I've been seeing for the past year or so is that the down payment is contingent upon the investor's credit score. That brings me to my next topic, which is going to be credit. A couple of years ago, if someone was able to locate a really good investment property deal, they could pretty much get financing, oftentimes regardless of credit. That trend now, it hasn't completely gone away, but it has diminished quite a bit. Now, there are still the so-called hard money lenders out there. For those of you who don't know, hard money lenders are those people that loan money based upon the deal itself, not necessarily an individual's credit score. They look at the deal, determine not whether it makes sense. When I say sense, I mean C-E-N-T-S. If it makes sense, they'll fund it, and if it doesn't, obviously they don't touch it. Now, hard money lenders are scrutinizing deals a lot more closely than they ever have in the past. They want to make sure that your credit score is at least decent. And I'll give you 2 examples. There used to be one lender, a national lender that funds deals right here in Chicago. A couple years back, their credit requirements were as follows. A middle credit score of 550 was required and a down payment of about $5,000. Today, that very same lender now requires a middle score of a 620 with a 20% down payment. Another example was a lender that used to take up anyone and approve them for a rehab loan as long as they had a middle score of 575 or greater. Now that same lender again wants a 625 and up to 20% down. So within a property, let's say the after repair value is $100,000. A couple years back, you could put down $5,000 on that property. Today, in this environment, you'll be looking at possibly $20,000, again, depending upon your credit score. In my opinion, the increased credit score actually works in favor of investors for a couple of reasons. Perhaps the greatest reason is that a higher credit score will give you more access to better exit strategies. I should say more exit strategies upon the completion of a deal. I'll give you an example. Let's say, for example, an investor buys a property, rehabs it, and puts that property on the market. Well, as you know from watching the news and the internet, etc., properties are taking longer to sell. And the days when properties were selling in 30 to 60 days, they haven't disappeared completely, but those properties are few and far in between. So if that property doesn't sell, an investor with a great credit score would have the option of possibly refinancing the property, maybe pulling some of the equity out, and decreasing their interest rate all at once. If an investor has a lower credit score, however, that option is simply not available to them. I advise anyone that's thinking about becoming an investor or that's currently an investor to make sure that their middle credit score is at least a 660 before they get started. The last area I want to cover is knowledge / experience. Now, there's 2 ways to go out and get knowledge about real estate investing. The first way is the cheapest way. This is basically a self-taught method where an individual goes out, reads books, websites, magazines such as Invest with Passion, talks to different investors, and basically try to familiarize themselves with the industry on an individual basis. The other method is to go out and seek paid training. Now, there's tons of training programs out there, from the national gurus that advertise on the infomercials to local gurus. I mean, the pick is limitless. The idea with paid training is that you go out and you find someone to teach you, and of course you pay a fee. Now there's two things to be wary of when you're looking at paid training. First, you want to be on the lookout for any training program that promises you that you'll get like $1 million in 30 days or 60 days or something like that. Not to say that that isn't possible. Of course, anything's possible, but definitely real estate investing, just like anything else in life, the results that you get out will be directly in proportion to the effort that you put into it. That being stated, the other thing you want to look out for is training that is just too expensive. I know, for example, there's one training program, I won't name any names, but the tuition for the program is $19,000. Now, that's not to say that that training program is any good or worse than a program that costs $1,900 or $900. I mean, it's fine to go out and pay for training, but again, you just want to strike a balance between what's going to be beneficial for you. Cost does not necessarily equate to value. The last thing I want to stress about the training programs, either paid or unpaid, is to definitely be committed to this when you get started. I see a lot of people that are workshop hoppers, meaning they go from one training session to the next looking for I'm not quite sure what, and they never really commit themselves to anything. They may sign up for one or two of these training programs, and what happens is that they'll make a half-hearted attempt for, say, 2 or 3 weeks, sometimes less, of work in the program, and then they give up, and then they come to the conclusion that, oh, that real estate investing doesn't work, or that's a scam, whatever the case may be. I think that a lot of programs that are on the market right now, I would say that a lot of them probably do work, but again, you have to work the program. Another option that you may want to seek as a new investor besides training is to find a mentor. Obviously, you want to compensate that person for his or her time, because no mentor or no individual at the top of his or her game professionally has quote-unquote free time. Actually, this is the route that I took when I got started. I did find a mentor. I teamed up with a local millionaire by the name of Guy Williams. I got my first property within a few months after entering that relationship. That first property was a HUD property. It was listed on both the MLS and the HUD website. Asking price was $77,750. Put $1,000 down for earnest money. Rehab costs on that property came out to about $20,000, so it was somewhere between a light and a gut rehab, and it actually appraised out to $145,000. That's the after repair value. What I did with this property is refinance the property, pulled out $10,000 in cash, and I have a tenant where I'm currently earning positive cash flow of about $200 per month. That being stated, I'll be selling the property actually to the tenant that's living there now over the next couple months or so, and then I'll pull out the remaining equity at that point. So again, mentoring can be a fantastic first step for you if you're able to team up with someone that has that knowledge. It can in fact take years off of your learning curve. Just to reiterate everything, cash, credit, and knowledge are the three components that are going to be the key to getting started in real estate investing. Obviously, the ideal situation is going to be to have all three of those things. But if you're like most people and you lack at least one or two of those components, there is still a possibility of getting started. The more money you have, the easier the process is going to be, and that's just like with anything else in life. Money makes things easier. I cannot stress the importance of getting and maintaining a great credit score. The higher the credit score, the better off you'll be. If you don't have any cash or credit, then you want to make sure you learn as much as you possibly can on real estate investing. Again, either self-taught methods, paid training, whatever the case may be. Again, I'm Danielle Pierce, real estate investor, licensed sales associate, Williams Realty and Investments. Happy investing. Thanks.